Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching. Today I thought it would be a great idea to talk about some dieting myths and things that people tend to think they need to do when it comes to dieting. This past week at work I've had a lot of my clients ask me questions that I kind of was like, how do people believe that this stuff is true? I tend to forget that most people really will believe anything and everything they read on the internet, number one. And number two, they just want the fastest, quickest way to lose weight or body fat, and they will do whatever it takes to get it, even if it sounds absolutely insane. So today we are breaking down 7 diet myths. So I'm going to list each myth and discuss, number one, why it's untrue, number two, why it might not be the best idea, and number 3, what you can do instead of this myth to help you reach your goals. Diet myth number 1 is don't eat anything past 6 p.m. or after dark. This is a myth that we have heard for a while now, and while I can kind of see where people are coming from when they believe that, when you learn more about how your body works and about nutrition and caloric intake, you'll realize that this really does not matter. So I was also someone who used to believe this myth, and I wouldn't eat anything after dinner or past a certain time at night. My bikini competition was like the peak of my bro science days, so I didn't really do much research that year and while I was prepping, and I kind of just believed all of these silly things I was hearing about. So this is definitely a myth, and the reason for that is because your body has no idea what time of day it is. It has no idea if it's dark outside. It doesn't know if it's 6 o'clock at night, so there is no reason to limit your food intake after you eat dinner or when it gets dark out. The only time I would suggest not to do something like this is if you have trouble sleeping at night, or if you have trouble sleeping on a full stomach. Sometimes that makes it hard for people to sleep and they don't like to go to bed very full. So in that case, I would suggest just having a lighter meal as it gets later if you're someone who struggles with sleeping. If you don't struggle and you get really hungry at night after dinner or after dark, go ahead and eat. It's not going to ruin your progress. Your body has no clue. It could be morning for all that your body cares. It's just, our bodies have no idea that it's dark outside. Going along with this don't eat after dark myth is the ever so popular never skip breakfast, it's the most important meal of the day, all that stuff. Well, it is true that when you wake up your body is deprived of glycogen due to an overnight fast. Extending that fasting period a couple more hours isn't really going to harm you. If you are someone who's dieting or if you're in a caloric deficit, this actually may be beneficial to you. If you're someone who doesn't wake up hungry in the morning all the time and you hate eating first thing when you wake up, just continuing that fast a couple hours more isn't going to do any damage. In this case, if you are somebody who is dieting and you don't like to eat breakfast, I would suggest taking a branched chain amino acid supplement in the morning, just sipping on some BCAAs, just to get something in your system and prevent your body from burning muscle, which is obviously not what most people want to do. They want to be burning fat, not muscle. Myth number 2, eat smaller meals 6 to 8 times per day. This one I also used to abide by, and as we go down this list, I've probably done most of these things or believed most of these things. You'll soon find out. Whether you want to eat 3 big meals or 8 smaller meals, it really doesn't make a difference in regards to weight loss. However, if you find that you are a snacker and you're someone who likes to pick on things throughout the day, maybe 6 or 8 smaller meals might be more beneficial to you because you'll be constantly eating something and you won't feel the need to snack in between your meals. On the other side, if you are somebody who either doesn't have time to eat 6 to 8 meals per day or just doesn't like eating that often, it is totally fine to eat only 3 meals per day, even if you want to eat 2 meals per day. Just as long as you get in your specific caloric intake, whatever that may be for your body. Whatever it is you're going to stick to and adhere to, that is the best option for you. Option A is not better than option B in this case, so this is all about finding what works for you. Myth number 3 is that carbs make you fat. So we're kind of back in the state of mind where we're getting to be afraid of carbs again it kind of started with the whole paleo diet popularity, and now the ketogenic diet is getting popular. So we have all of these diets that suggest you should eat very, very low carb and you'll lose weight. While it is true that if you eat less carbs, you probably will lose more weight, this isn't going to be sustainable for most people. Most people enjoy their carbs, and as Americans, a lot of our foods that we enjoy are very carbohydrate focused. So when people restrict a full food group like carbs, that is going to make you want them even more. When you're restricting such a large amount of foods, it's hard. It's really hard to stick to a low carb diet and be happy. Again, this can work for some people. Some people prefer fats over carbs, and that's totally fine. As far as a newbie dieter or somebody who's just starting to try to lose weight, this may not be the best option. If you watch my channel, you hear me talk about macros all the time. The 3 macronutrients that make up energy for our body are protein, carbs, and fats. You essentially need a balance of all 3 of those macronutrients, and that is what I recommend as a coach, especially to people who are just starting off with their dieting. Carbs are essential, especially for athletes, especially for strength athletes, even bodybuilders, even whatever your sport is. Chances are you're gonna feel so much better if you eat carbs. So they're not something to be afraid of. I think a lot of people think that carbs just immediately, once they're digested, turn into fat. That is totally not the case. So in order for your body weight to increase, or in order for you to gain weight, you need to be eating in a caloric surplus. So that means that whatever your calorie maintenance is, and everybody's is different, you need to be eating more than that maintenance every single day for you to increase your body weight. The same thing goes for losing weight. You need to be in a caloric deficit to lose body weight, so you need to be eating less than your maintenance in order to see the scale go down. Carbs by themselves are not going to make you gain weight. It's going to be an excess of calories. That's what is going to cause weight gain. Usually, yes, the excess calories can come from carbs and fats, but it's not like eating an apple. An apple is a carb. If I were to eat an apple right now, I'm not going to immediately get fat from it. So I think we need to learn how to erase that negativity we associate with carbs, because they are so beneficial to your progress in the gym and just overall feeling good throughout your day. Myth number 4 is that you need to cut your calories drastically low in order to lose weight. This one is where I'm gonna get kind of scientific on you guys here, so bear with me. We just talked about the 3 macronutrients. All 3 of those macros, protein, carbs, and fats, they all contain calories. Protein and carbs contain 4 calories per gram, fats contain 9 calories per gram, and then alcohol contains 7 calories per gram. So people think that in order to lose weight, you need to cut calories. Yes, so we just talked about the caloric surplus or the caloric deficit. You need to be in a caloric deficit, which means lower than your maintenance calories in order to lose weight. That is true. What is not true about this myth is that you need to do it drastically. So say I am eating around 2,000 calories per day and I'm maintaining my body weight. Drastically cutting that to 1,200 calories per day, that would put me at an 800 calorie deficit, and if you multiply that by 7, because there's 7 days in a week, that would put me at a 5,600 calorie deficit. In order to lose 1 pound, you need to burn 3,500 calories. So if I'm hypothetically burning 5,600 calories per week, I'm burning over 1.5 pounds a week, which is a lot for someone my size. And that is a pretty big deficit to start off with. And the problem with that is if you start off with such a big jump or such a big deficit, you have to continue going down because your body is going to plateau at some point and you're going to stop losing weight and your body is going to try to maintain homeostasis. You're gonna have to cut that number lower and lower. So if I'm already only eating 1,200 calories per day, which is not very much, I only have the option of going down from there, which is going to put me at a very unhealthy amount of calories to consume each day. So a good starting point here is to lose anywhere from half a pound to 2 pounds per week for the average person. The next diet myth is that sugar makes you fat. And this almost has become like common sense to people that sugar is bad, sugar makes you fat. I'm not gonna say sugar is great, but Layne Norton just posted a great article on bodybuilding.com, which I will link below, about sugar and how it affects weight loss. And according to recent research, there really wasn't too much of a difference when they compared people who ate sugar and people who did not eat sugar, didn't eat as much sugar when trying to lose weight. The problem is, however, when you consume sugar, sugar is an empty calorie. So it's not going to keep you full. And chances are you're probably going to end up consuming more on top of that because you're still hungry. So sugar doesn't directly cause weight gain, but because it doesn't keep you full and because it's just an empty calorie, it is not beneficial. So sugar in moderation is totally fine. I eat sugar or things that have sugar in them every day. I'm just not filling my entire day with all of these sugary foods because I know that it's not going to keep me full or satiated. Myth number 6 is something that I used to abide by, and that is, as long as you exercise every single day, you can eat whatever you want and lose weight. Not necessarily. So when I was very into running and I did half marathons and I would run like 7 or 8 miles a day, sometimes more, I basically ate whatever I wanted. Because I was doing such high endurance training, I was so hungry all the time. I was hungry for carbs and I would eat pizza and bagels, and the majority of my diet pretty much came from carbs. My mentality at that time was just, oh, I just ran 8 miles today. I burned over 1,000 calories today. I'm totally fine. I could eat whatever I want and I'm not gonna gain weight. And while I've never been overweight, I definitely was not in the best of shape, especially compared to the shape I'm in now. So I think a lot of people have this mentality that they think when they eat something like a cheat meal or something very bad, they immediately think they have to jump on a treadmill or jump on the Stairmaster and just burn all of these calories and stay on for hours, and just that'll make up for it. The amount of effort you have to put into erase that meal when you're not really erasing it, but you think that you made up for it, would be, you'd have to spend hours running or doing cardio just to burn off a portion of that meal. When it comes to weight loss, nutrition is the king. If your diet is on point, you can lose weight and not even have to step into a gym. Obviously, it would be best to do both, but you can lose weight just by dieting. The last myth is my favorite. I see things like this all the time on Facebook and on social media. It's that juices and detoxes will make you lose weight. So this can be a pretty controversial topic to post about online because you have all of these companies like Beachbody and Shakeology and ISO something. I don't even know the names of them, but there's so many companies out there who have all of these coaches pushing these products on people, claiming that this green juice is going to help you shed fat, or that this other cleanse that you do for 5 days and you don't eat any real food is going to help you lose 20 pounds. Yes, this stuff does help you lose weight, and you probably will lose 20 pounds if you don't eat anything for 5 days except these juices. But are you gonna live on this stuff forever? The answer is probably not. I can tell you, A, it's going to be pretty miserable to live off a 5-day juice cleanse. B, while yes, they may be packed with vitamins and minerals and nutrients. I did look at one specific brand of this 5-day cleanse, and there's very minimal protein in these juices. It was pretty high in carbs because it's all vegetables and fruits pretty much, and obviously minimal fat. So you're getting most of your calories from carbs. Granted, they are nutrient dense. However, you're depriving your body of protein intake and most likely fat intake as well, which both of those nutrients are needed to function and to live, essentially. In 5 days, I can tell you it's not going to be fat loss. It's most likely going to be water weight. And once you go back to eating your normal stuff after this 5 days is over, or after you don't feel like buying any of these shakes anymore, your weight's going to come right back on. So you have to ask yourself, is it really worth spending all this money on this product that is not sustainable for me? Maybe it's not the most enjoyable thing, literally only drinking your meals for 5 days, and is it really that healthy? So to kind of recap this video, I just want to say that there is no quick fix to dieting. There is no quick fix to losing fat or body weight. The best thing you can do for yourself is to educate yourself about nutrition and lose weight in a slow, controlled, and sustainable way. Whatever method you choose, make sure that it is something that's going to work for you, something that you are going to adhere to and be able to follow consistently, or else it really is a waste of your time.